I'll describe my family as bonkers. But as well as being bonkers, they're supportive, and whenever I need them, they're always here.
I love fostering. I absolutely adore it. You know, each child is different. They come in with all their problems. They're withdrawn, they're frightened, they're crying. They take a little while to settle. And then after a little while, you suddenly get this child. You get to see who that child is. That means everything to me.
Being a foster carer means to us making a difference. I think being able to be there for the child when they've had a very chaotic past, and you're often the first port of call.
Yes, it's very much social skills.
Yeah. Yes, very much
for the teaching side of things, but it's about loving children. It's about enjoying their company. It's about having them as part of your family. Since we've had them, I think I see a huge difference in Sophie, Caden and Jordan, because we give them a stable family life, and it's something they've both been missing.
It's different being away from my actual family and like being in foster care, because it's not the same kind of family, if that makes sense. You want them to be your family, but they're not, so that's what makes it a little bit difficult.
Initially, it was my idea to do fostering because I like loads of people around me, I like a noisy house, and we weren't having any more kids, so decided to go into fostering. It's not an easy job. You know, the human beings are complicated as it is already, and you're going to take someone who's been taken away and placed with it. It's going to be even harder.
To me, it feels like we can give something back to a child that hasn't got a stable life as stable as our own children. It's also important to our own children for them to realise actually that they're benefiting from quite a stable family. So hopefully the child that comes into our homes will benefit from that, and also our own children will benefit from giving something back.
To me, like, fostering's about breaking the cycle. It's about breaking the routine. So I came from like a family with no structure, no routines, like no safety. And that was the big difference, coming into a family that had that. I suppose showed me what normal family life is like.
Different family members have different roles, you know. My partner Clive's very jokey. He's able to take over that side and making children laugh when they're sometimes quite upset or traumatised. My daughter's very sort of soft and mild, and she'll sit and do colouring or drawing or painting nails. And my son, my older son, will be out playing football. So we all have our own roles, and we sort of change them depending on the child.
It's always exciting when a new child or siblings come. If it's a girl, I'll take them shopping rather than my mum doing it, because I don't know, a bit more on trend. It's nicer for them just because I'm a bit younger. Or I'll do their nails, their hair, take them to the cinema.
You're a parent, you're a carer, you're an advocate, you're a teacher, you're a listener, you're a mentor. You're really a variety of people all rolled into one. Looking after children is not easy in itself, but when you have foster children, you have to wear very many hats, and those hats change on a daily basis depending on how your child is that particular day. So you really have to be on the ball, and it's a hands-on job.
Professional parent.
Okay.
is a definition, yeah. You know, because you have to deal with other professionals, social workers, doctors, nurses, all different professionals, and then also other foster carers, parents, you know, so it's and the child, and you know, you're doing a parenting role, but as a professional parent.
I definitely see it as a role and a profession in terms of what we do, what foster carers do. For me, the most important thing, nurturing and giving young people structure and a way of life that they've not experienced before for whatever reason.
I get a buzz from it. I find the job very, very rewarding especially when you see some of the children when they come in are so timid and so frightened, and you see them gaining a voice.
We hope that we give them a bit more of their childhood to fall back on when in later years that they can say that they did have some good times as a child, yeah.
And seeing the happy face as well. At the end of the day, that's what we get out of it. Seeing a happy face. And happy voices when you get here. You can hear them all laughing and giggling in there and fighting and running about. And saying, well, stop that noise, stop that. But you don't really mean stop that noise. Carry on, really.
The actual job is to try, I suppose, to develop and help that child's confidence and to get them to realise that although life has been grim and difficult perhaps for them, that is not necessarily the future.
Every child is different, every child is an individual, and that means that that child will require different needs. So I believe that the job description is always going to be very bespoke.
For me, it's about providing a safe place for a child to be when they're not able to be with their family, and then through that process providing them with, you know, some hope, aspirations, learning, helping them have as normal a life as possible within the difficult circumstances they're in. The things I find easiest are things I probably would have done anyway, and not being afraid to do them with the kids and including them in my life. You know, going up to Camden for the day and going around the market, or going to the park and going to the cafe. They love going out for meals, and that was something I was very resistant to doing for quite a while, but actually they're really good and they quite like that experience.
If foster carers had to have a job description, the first thing on there would have to be resilience. Good sense of humour.
Very good sense of humour.
Very good sense of humour.
A lot of patience, and behaving like a child sometimes yourself makes life a wee bit easier when you're looking after children who are actually strangers to you initially.
Be strict, but not strict, if that makes sense. Like, have a soft side on, and to just have a warming home that you can go back to after school.
I think you'd have to be very resilient, very caring, being able to listen, but listen properly, because I think people say listening is just listening, but really listening, and listening on the level of whatever child you've got, and just be open to everything, because I don't think there's a prescription for foster care. It changes, it depends on each individual child.
Oh, we've had them from Chinese backgrounds, traveller backgrounds, Asian backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, but to me they're all kids. They all eat, sleep, fight, argue, ignore you, disregard what you say, but at the end of the day they're all just children.